In the bustling heart of Mumbai, where the city's relentless pace blurred the lines between hope and despair, there existed a man who neither sought glory nor forgiveness. His name was Raghav Malhotra, a name spoken in whispers among the powerful and feared by the criminal underbelly. Raghav was not a hero, nor did he aspire to be one. His life was a series of morally ambiguous choices, each one shaped by the harsh realities of his past. The fall Raghav's journey into the shadows began when he was just a boy in Dharavi, Asia's largest slum. Orphaned at 10, he learned quickly that the world didn't offer mercy. With no one to guide him, he became a runner for local gangs, delivering packages, evading the police, and learning the dark art of survival. By 20, he had risen to become a trusted enforcer for Bhaiya Seth, a notorious crime lord. Ruthless and calculating, Raghav handled extortions, eliminations, and the occasional rescue when it suited Seth's agenda. He was a man who lived by a code, not of honor, but of necessity. Everyone has a price, Raghav often said, his voice devoid of emotion. If you can't buy them, you break them. But cracks began to form in his hardened facade when he met Anaya, a spirited journalist determined to expose Mumbai's underworld. She didn't fear Raghav, and her fierce sense of justice clashed with his world of gray. The awakening Anaya was investigating Bhaiya Seth's empire when she crossed paths with Raghav. Their interactions were confrontational at first, but Anaya's unyielding belief in the power of redemption stirred something dormant within him. She saw beyond the facade, sensing a man desperate for an escape from his own darkness. When Seth ordered the assassination of a local activist, a man who had provided shelter to orphans, Raghav hesitated. The activist reminded him of his younger self, of the life he might have had if someone had shown him kindness. Disobeying Seth's orders, Raghav faked the activist's death and secretly relocated him. Anaya uncovered Raghav's betrayal and confronted him. You can't play both sides forever, Raghav. The shadows will consume you. I'm already consumed, he replied, lighting a cigarette with trembling hands. But maybe, just maybe, I can still do something right. The reckoning Seth discovered Raghav's deception and marked him for death. Overnight, the hunter became the hunted. Raghav knew his only chance was to dismantle Seth's empire from within. With Anaya's reluctant help, he gathered evidence of Seth's crimes and forged alliances with rival gangs, turning them against their mutual enemy. Raghav's methods were brutal. He used manipulation, fear, and violence to achieve his goals, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Each step forward cost him pieces of his soul, but he pressed on, driven by the faint hope of redemption. In the climactic showdown, Raghav confronted Seth in a decrepit warehouse. Their fight was brutal, a visceral clash of raw power and desperation. Bloodied but unbroken, Raghav delivered the final blow, ending Seth's reign of terror. Raghav became a legend in Mumbai, straddling the line between hero and villain. To some, he was a savior. To others, a monster. Ultimately, he was a man who fought his demons, not for glory, but to leave the world a bit less broken than he found it. The aftermath. With Seth gone, the city experienced a fragile peace. Raghav turned himself in, handing over the evidence to Anaya and the authorities. His actions dismantled a criminal empire, but the cost was his freedom. Sentenced to life in prison, Raghav found solace in knowing he had made a difference. Anaya visited him once, her eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and sorrow. You could have escaped. Why stay? Redemption isn't about running, he said, his voice steady. It's about facing what you've done,